Hey everybody, what's going on? The Montreal Canadiens had a pretty active week in both the trade department and the results column, and there's plenty to dive into in this video. Before we get started, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. It's as easy as clicking in the bottom right hand corner of this video. Now let's start with the elephant in the room, and that is Patrik Laine and his hat trick earlier this week. And I think there's a lot of good things going on with Patrik Laine right now, specifically with his shot. He's basically scored his patented goal 6 times already for the Montreal Canadiens, and it's not something that goalies can simply stop, even when they're squared up to the shot. We saw that with the Buffalo Sabres goalie earlier this week, and I think we're going to continue to see that, especially once the Habs start to adjust and get Cole Caulfield more involved on this power play, because right now it seems that the focus is all on Laine and what he can bring to the table. But once the Montreal Canadiens start to distribute the puck a little more and find better options on the power play, it's just going to open up way more opportunities for them to score and add more offense with that unit out on the ice. I think Lane Hutson has been a very dynamic option on the top power play unit for the Montreal Canadiens, and he's just giving them so many different options with his creativity, his elite puck movement skills, and just his ability to fake out opponents and move the puck very well as well. So I think there's a lot of positives right now, even if at 5-on-5 there are some concerns with how Patrik Laine's game is transitioning back into the NHL. I think that was kind of to be expected. You can see he's not too happy just with how he's playing on a shift-to-shift basis, but if he can continue to contribute on the power play, that's going to go a long way in helping the Montreal Canadiens get back to relevancy. Speaking of relevancy, the Montreal Canadiens also added a defenseman this week in a trade. They dealt Justin Barron to the Nashville Predators for Alexandre Carrier, and I think there's a lot of positives to this deal. Carrier has some term to his deal. He's going to have this year and 2 more on his contract. I think that provides some stability for the right side of this Montreal Canadiens defense, which is something they've been begging to find this season. With their current makeup, they just hadn't been able to really put together a defensive unit that Martin St. Louis had confidence in sending every pair over the boards. Now, I'm not quite sure who he's going to be paired with, but there's going to be a lot of different options for this team. We're going to see that as soon as tonight in Detroit, where he's expected to make his Montreal Canadiens debut. There's a lot of positives just with how they're going to operate on defense now. They're adding a player that might not be big in stature, but he plays with a very high competitive spirit, has a lot of admirable qualities defensively, and he can move the puck well with a great first pass. So I think this is going to add a really nice element to the Montreal Canadiens on their back end, and it also provides some assurance for when David Savard is eventually moved ahead of the trade deadline, even if his value isn't necessarily what the Montreal Canadiens would like it to be right now. That's it for me today from Cook's Corner. As always, let me know in the comment section down below what your thoughts are on Patrik Laine's emergence for the Montreal Canadiens, along with their trade they made with the Nashville Predators. I'm Zach Cook. We'll see you later.